Temasek's funds are now invested 30% in Singapore, 40% in Asia, and only 20% in OECD countries. And the time frame is very long, 20 to 30 years, which is like a historian's time frame. So I was thinking that maybe Huang Ganghu should ask the first question. So, Prof. Huang?
Historical question would be that
there's a microphone.
20 to 30 years is too hard for a historian. 20 to 30 years backwards might be a little bit easier. But nevertheless, I do appreciate that you think that far ahead. The assurance that you can actually see that far ahead is something that I think we need to learn from. Can you tell us how you do it?
I think nobody can see that far ahead. What we could see looking back is how Singapore has transformed. What we can see ahead is this desire and this commitment to transform and to be plugged into the world in many, many parts of Asia. It used to be China was very happy to play in its own little pan, and India was very happy to play in its own little pan, and only countries in Southeast Asia were busy plugging into the global economy. But I think in the 90s, we began to see China connecting. At some point, there was doubt as to which direction they would go, until Deng Xiaoping in his famous Southern tour came and said, that away, market economy. And by the late 1990s, we felt very confident there was no turning back for China because the psyche of the people has changed. The psychology has changed. They want to be part of the world. In India, in the early 90s, we saw a lot of pain among the corporate leaders, the corporate world. They were wondering, what is this about India that they are always having this Hindu rate of growth? But by the late 1990s, we could see that they were opening up, they were transforming. It wasn't very visible to the world then, but they were importing ideas into their manufacturing. They brought in the Japanese to reform their own capabilities. And they had a very strong core of management who were ready and able to plug into the world. We saw this transformation similar to Southeast Asia, being prepared to plug into the world. And beneath this is a huge talent pool. John Reed once set a goal for his country manager. He says, I don't need any KPI from you. All I need is 25 good names from you every year. Which is why I think you see very senior leadership in Citi coming from this part of the world. So to us, that willingness to plug into the world, to compete, to open up, and to go towards the market economy, the underlying strength of the people in terms of the talents and capability, I think these are the two threads that cause us to be very comfortable that Asia, in the long run, will make its way into the world to take its place as one of the key economies, key economic regions in the world. There will be risks. There will be trouble along the way. But one of the comforting things that have happened is we have seen them time and again able and willing to take decisions for the long term. And I think this augurs well for the next 20, 30 years. Beyond 20, 30 years, I have a little bit of question mark. In China, for instance, if you look at this current team of leadership, they have gone through cultural revolution. They have seen where they've come from, and they don't want to go back there. So they will opt for stability. They opt to try because they have tried other things and failed, and this is the last resort to be connected to the world. The likes of Zhu Rongji use the WTO to push the internal transformation. But the people, the youngsters in China who are perhaps in their 20s or even their teens, they have not known anything but prosperity. When these people come into the leadership position, we don't really know how they think. We don't know if they will throw their weight around as a large power by then, or they will be a more measured corporate citizen, global citizen. That's the risk. So beyond 20, 30 years, I would say there are risks that we say, we're not quite sure. But the next 20, 30 years, I think the commitment to try and make lives better for their people and for their citizens, this drives Asia, and I think this is a good thing.
Thank you very much.